Yo, what's up with you guys? It feels like it's been forever. It's your boy, Yaahn Hunter Jr. We're back at it again, and today we're going to learn how to build drum kits using Logic Pro X plugins. We're going to be using third-party samples. I'm going to show you guys where I got them from. Let's get right into this thing. All right, guys, so the first thing you want to do is locate your browser by hitting the letter F. Boom. Then locate your samples. The samples that I'm using is the Cloudy Trap Kit from splice.com, link in the description for that. And you guys can download my free drums. It's available on my website, yhuntermusic.com. Link in the description below for those. Check them out. Let's start with the first way to do this. And this is going to be dragging this to the left. And we're going to start with the chromatic map. So once you do that, it automatically builds a sampler instrument for you. They already are assigned. So on and so forth. How I have mine set up is I typically have one shot off, and that's because I want that stutter sound, especially like on the kick drum. And if I'm doing like a, you know, you have to hold the key to get the full duration of the sample. But if I don't hold it and I just hit it, it makes it nice and fast. That gives you a nice choppy sound. Now, sometimes you might want the full sample to play out. And if you do, just turn on one shot and then it'll play it all the way through automatically. Hey, if you guys are getting value out of this video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on those bell notifications. We're going to do this again. This time we're going to do the sampler optimized mapping. Now, what this does is it basically gives you some pitch options. So it gives you like some variations. So let's check this out. It gives you all the way to the hi-hats. So if you want to do some custom hi-hat stuff where you got the hi-hats, you know, where you want to do some pitch down hi-hats, this is a good way to do that. I would typically like to do this just with hi-hats, just so I can have that pitch all the way up and down the keyboard. So when you want to do some trap stuff, you can have these multiple keys with different pitches assigned. The third way is we're going to drag it again over here, and we're going to go to Drum Machine Designer. This allows you to have a multiple output instrument or drum kit designer. So I'm going to X out of this really quickly. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. So you see how it puts each individual sound on a separate track built into the Drum Machine Designer. So on and so forth. And this also sets you up to be able to use the step sequencer. So if you come in here to your step sequencer, you can see that everything is assigned and you can basically build this out like FL Studio. All right, let's talk pros and cons of each one. So let's talk about the first one, which is the chromatic. The sampler chromatic automatically lays out everything for you. You have so much versatility, and you can basically almost treat this like a keyboard instrument. You have some other matrix effects to this where you can add some glides to your drums and really get extremely creative. You have the maximum potential using the sampler chromatic. Also, you can make multiple tracks by just hitting the duplicate button right here, and you can separate your drums out. And basically, I kind of do my drums one at a time, just hitting the key. So just kick, just snare, so on and so forth. It gives you that option, and you can be ready to mix off the bat. So those are some of the pros. The cons, I would say, for this is it's a bit much for a beginner. It's overwhelming. It's too many knobs. It's just so much going on. And for a beginner, or for someone who just wants to focus on, you know, doing some step sequencing, this is not the format to do that. So that's, I would say, a major con of using this way of doing it. All right, let's talk about the pros and cons of the sampler optimized. So the pros is like I mentioned earlier, you got options with your hi-hats. You can pitch them up and down and give you that super dope trap sound. Also, it gives you some variations with all of your samples. And you can really get a customized sound. Like you might start with a certain pitch, but maybe you want it higher or lower, and it may dictate the vibe of your track. So that's a pro, being subjective. The con that I have for this is your instruments are varied with pitch. So you got to travel all the way up and down the keys to find the right pitch for your sample. When you're trying to work fast and you just want to clap or something right away, this format is definitely going to set you back. So I would highly recommend using the optimize specifically for your hi-hats so you can have some pitched up hi-hats. It's just a creative way of going about that. Now, let's talk about the Drum Machine Designer. The pros of the Drum Machine Designer is you have all your controls ready, easy to access per drum slot that you decide to put these in. You can customize this. You can move this over here if you want. You can change how you want to organize your drums. Another pro is it automatically has multiple tracks for you to manipulate. You can add processing and plugins on each individual instrument, and it's already grouped for you. Click the arrow again and reveal all the tracks again. And another major pro is you have your step sequencer where you can start building right away, and you can even do step sequencing based on just a key itself or just a one instrument at a time, or you can do step sequencing over the course over the whole drum kit. The only con I foresee with the Drum Designer is when it comes down to sending stems to another producer. So if you want each individual drum to be sent out, you're going to have to work around this format. So if you hit flat and stack, here's what's going to happen. Each drum is going to be pitched all the way down to all the way up to the top. So you will have to work around sending your stems out. But if you're cool with sending just one drum stem, bouncing out this one track that has everything on it, then you're all set to go. Hey, let me know in the comments what format works for you and why you feel it's the best format. Thank you guys for watching this video. Happy beat making, happy producing, and like I always say, we ain't nowhere near done. Peace.